my god!
Ooh, let me just post this Coalfisk Groundling and see if I'll make any money off this one right here. So let me do this. Want 400, 1400. Oh no, okay. I'll post that right there. All right, now let me just search it and make sure I didn't get undercutted. What's going on, guys? This is KZ bringing you another gold guide. Are you guys tired of being undercutted? If so, good, because I am too, everybody else is. So I'm going to give you guys a couple tips and tricks how to avoid that, and basically how to make the best out of the situation. So let's get straight into it. If you're dealing with small items, such as materials, crafting items, and less valuable stuff in general, there's not really that much stuff you can do about it.
Or is there?
Just kidding, unfortunately. There's actually only so much you could do when it comes to the auction house and being undercutted, and that actually depends entirely on the item itself, how much gold you have, and your realm population. So let's jump into an example of something small that you guys all might be familiar with. A Coalfisk Groundling. Okay, this item has an outrageous supply. There's a bunch of them in the game. It sells fairly quickly, but sometimes an item like this, you'll post it on the auction house and you'll check back later or shortly after, as you saw on the intro, and you'll be undercutted almost instantly just because there's such a vast amount of them in the system, and it's really annoying having to keep posting it. Small items like this, the best thing you can honestly do is just regulate your auctions as often as possible. And by this, I don't mean you have to stand there and spam refresh the page and then repost it as soon as you get undercutted. I just mean when you're waiting for a queue, for Battleground, LFR, or whatever you're doing, if you're in a main city, really take advantage of the auction house and just swing by, see if your stuff is undercutted, and then repost it, because this just secures your chances at making a sale on the auction house itself. And then also, if you are in the main city, you should actually just try taking advantage of trade chat itself. Try selling your item in trade chat, because you'll be surprised on how many times people pick up on those, and you might find some nice deals in trade chat as well, rather than spend the time to post it on the auction house and wait for it to sell. Sometimes it's very beneficial. Also, let's take a look at another item, a little bit more pricey, kind of a medium to high price item, such as the Spectral Tiger Cub. If you have enough gold to afford these items, you could actually buy them out, or multiple of them, and repost them for your desired price. As long as it's not too outrageous, just because people still got to afford them. So you want to try to get them lower if possible. The lower the better, because when you're doing a method like this, or you plan on buying out a certain amount of items on the auction house in order to obtain a certain price, you run certain risks when doing that. Because, take an example like Garn Night Howls. If you invested in a bunch of those, it would be most likely a horrible mistake unless you're on a completely dead server, just because you'll post all of yours for hire, and then you might log on the next day or maybe even an hour or two later, and there's going to be 5 more for the same price you bought them before, and then you're going to get overwhelmed. And in the end, you're either going to have too many Garn Night Howls to sell that aren't selling, or you're just going to have to sell the remainder of your Garn Night Howls off for a cheaper price than you bought them for, because you're making no money. So, yeah, don't do that. And lastly on that, as far as like medium to low price items, you guys just got to be patient. It's just how the market works. So just let your stuff sit on there. Check them whenever you can, casually. That's perfectly fine. It will sell in time, some longer than others, which is perfectly fine. And also, regarding any item on the auction house in the game, you should practice negotiating. If you simply want to buy something off the auction house, or if you're planning, like I said, to gain control of a few items on the auction house or buy out certain items, you could type /who space plus that character's name and see if they're online. You guys will be really surprised how many times that player is online, and you could actually, easily negotiate them down at least 5% of the auction house price, or sometimes even a lot more, and you'll save yourself a bunch of gold rather than just buying it straight off the auction house, because it's a win-win. They lose less gold from the auction house cut, and then you get a better price as well. And then one final thing, people who are really competitive on the auction house and undercut you insanely often to where it doesn't even seem fair, I guess I would say. If you are somewhat experienced or knowledgeable of a lot of the items on the auction house, you could do this method I'm about to explain. An example for this method I'm going to explain is the Savage Raptor TCG mount. It's kind of pricey right now, 300 to 400K range on most servers. It's pretty expensive. I'm not going to say any names right now, okay? But there's a guy on my server who literally plays WoW when he's not playing WoW. And by that, I mean he uses a mobile auction house add-on app on his phone or something. I know he does because this guy, I used to compete with him so often, and he would always, get on my nerves. And this guy he would be posting his auctions non-stop all day, all night, and he wouldn't even be online. Okay. I don't know what the hell this guy's doing. If he's fucking working at McDonald's, hold on, I'll take your order in a sec. Let me go back and check my auctions, okay? Like, I don't know what the fuck he's doing. Like, he's just always on there. He has less of a life than I do. Like Jesus Christ, I don't know what this guy's doing. But anyways, if you have a lot of gold and you get a player or players that undercut you really competitively and very, very often, like this guy used to do with me, you could basically do what I did and what I still do. I'll basically give you the story. So with the Savage Raptor TCG mount being the example, one day we're going back and forth, and start our prices. I had mine for around 400,000 gold, give or take, and seconds later, he's posting it for 399K. Okay, so I gotta fucking take mine down, repost it, 395K. Okay, seconds to minutes later, he posts it again. He's going down, and this time he starts chunking his prices down. So he drops to 375, 350. He starts really, cutting it steep. And long story short, we get down to both of ours are on the auction house for around 300K, over 300K. And his next post, he put it at 275K. All right, I know what these things could sell for, and I guarantee you, if I posted it again for 274K or anything below that, he would have bought mine and then raised the price. But instead, I got his. So I bought his for 275K, took mine off the auction house, and resold my Raptor within probably a week or two for 390K, if I remember. I had like 5 or 6 of them on the server, but all of them sold for around 400,000. Instead, because I have much more gold than him, I was able to buy him out instead. And for the record, I have been annoyed by this guy. And I even had other people come up to me telling me how annoyed they are of him just because this kid's always posting his shit on the auction house, but he's never online, and it's just really sad. Okay, so for some time now, I have actually, constantly bought him out on like 98% of his bigger selling items on the auction house. There's just so much crap he just has no control over anymore, and it's a loss for him, or he's making barely any profit. And it's a huge win for me because I'm flipping these items, a vast majority of them, and I'm just shutting him out basically. And this guy's name is actually almost non-existent on the auction house anymore. A few select items he still has and stuff. And then for the record, one last time, this guy also, a while back, it's a really stupid story, he scammed me for 700,000 gold. And in the past, I have personally been confronted by him, basically him telling me he dislikes me for the business I run and a lot of the stuff that I do on my server. And I've also witnessed him, talk shit on me in trade chat and troll me. And it's a double win-win for me. So it works out pretty damn good because I'm pretty happy to shut him out after all this and give him a slap in the face. It feels good. But yeah, when you get, to a lot of gold and you're able to do stuff like that, it's not even about really patience and gold anymore. It becomes like a fucking strategy game, you guys. So I mean, if you have a lot of gold and you want to try this stuff, or you have people that are really just on your ass as far as undercutting you and stuff like that, seriously, it's doable. If you have the gold for it, you can bait them so that the prices drop lower, and then you could buy them out and make more money for yourself and really take advantage of lower deals and stuff like that, as long as you know what the stuff can sell for, of course. I mean, I don't want you to just go spend on your gold on random items, but if you do what I did, then you could really, put some people in their place, and it'll really get them off your back as far as undercutting. But anyways, guys, I hope this guide was helpful and it helps you handle these situations a little bit better. If you did enjoy this video, take 1.5 seconds and leave me a like if you can. And yeah, I'll hopefully see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching.